Okay, welcome everyone to this candidate forum for Mayor and Treasurer of the City of Torrance. My name is Margot Rieg. I am from the LA County League of Women Voters, and we'll quickly run over the basic rules, which is that you're allowed to ask questions on cards. There are people distributing cards and pencils. Please label your question for mayor or for treasurer. The questions need to be civil. They need to be pertinent to the responsibilities of members of city government, and clear so that we can understand what you're asking. The candidates will be given a minute and a half for opening, a minute to answer questions, and a minute and a half for closing. And we will begin with no further ado. The timekeepers are sitting in front of you. When the timekeeper holds up a stop sign, you may finish your sentence, but please don't stretch it out into a paragraph. Our first candidate for mayor this evening is Sharon Kolani.
Good evening. You're going to hear tonight that we're better off than 4 years ago. Let me tell you why. Our reserves were less than $600,000. Budgets were being approved at a deficit. The city needed a lifeline. Fact, I am the only mayoral candidate who understood what needed to be done, and the only candidate to support two major decisions. The first decision was to refinance $350 million of debt. That has saved us as taxpayers $60 million to date and will save us $172 million over the time. The second was to support the measure that stabilized our city finances and generated over $95 million protecting essential services. Those weren't easy decisions for me, but they were responsible ones. That's how our reserves went to $131 million. I'm especially proud that 96% of my campaign support comes from Torrance residents and businesses. You and I are powering this campaign together, not with outside interests. And I am the only candidate, and that's a fact, that is endorsed by all branches of public service, former mayors, our supervisor, past assemblymen, congressmen, and all of these. That's leadership that brings people together and delivers results.
Thank you. Our next candidate for mayor this evening is George Chen.
Thank you very much and good evening. Not just a candidate, but also the current mayor. Question is again, are we better now than 4 years ago? Mayors get things done, and that's what I've been doing during my first term as your full-time mayor. Based on real accomplishments, I ask for your vote for 4 more years to further our accomplishments. The city is now stronger, and we are the powerhouse of the South Bay, digging ourselves out of $581K, fourth from the bottom, to now projecting $150 million in reserves. Public safety, we are the powerhouse public safety agency in the South Bay. We launched the Real-Time Response Center using fixed cameras and drones as first responders. So many agencies are coming to us for help. We approved a $4.7 million retention and recruiting bonus that all of us signed. By the way, the least revenue bond, street refi, all of us voted for that, not just one person. During my first term, aerospace defense companies have come back to the city of Torrance, such as Antares, Hadrian, and recently FlightWave, drone company, all high-paying jobs. Friendship City Initiative, we grew our global visibility worldwide with the unveiling of the largest Dodgers mural in the world. Now Torrance is a destination. We launched off Connect Torrance that provides transportation easy for seniors and those with disability. Ask for your vote for 4 more years.
Thank you. Now our candidates for treasurer. First, we will hear from Aurelio Matucci.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for coming here, listening to a bunch of politicians telling you how great we are, right? I know it's difficult because the truth is there's a lot of information that goes around, especially with social media, newsletters, whatever it might be. So some of it might be true, some of it might be not true, some of it might be just partially true. But at the end of the day, do your own research on every candidate. That's my advice. But anyways, my name is Aurelio Matucci. I've been serving on the Torrance City Council for 2 terms. That's 8 years. Before that, I was on the Social Services Commission, and before that, I was serving on the Torrance Rose Float Association. That was tough, tougher than everything else. But, you know, it's amazing how time flies. But what you need to do is look at each one of our track records. 2 of us have been serving on the council for many years. Look at our track records. Which one has actually brought stuff forward, got stuff done? And at the end of the day, it's about you choosing who you think is going to best serve in this position as treasurer. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we will hear from Mike Griffiths.
Thank you, and good evening, everyone. I'm Mike Griffiths, and I'm running for Torrance City Treasurer, and I think my nose is running as well, and I apologize in advance for not feeling well tonight. Currently, the Torrance Treasurer is responsible for the safekeeping of almost $400 million in idle city cash. So I'd say it's a rather important job, and for something that important, you want someone you can trust watching the investment and bank accounts. I have lived in Torrance now for over 40 years. I raised my family here, and I started and built my business here, generating millions of dollars in annual revenue. I love Torrance. I have dedicated the last 30 years to serving the community of Torrance. I've served on city commissions for 10 years, and most recently, I served as your city council member for 10 years, winning both my city council re-elections by wide margins and actually doing things. I have volunteered for the Torrance YMCA now for 30 years, leading hundreds of volunteers for their fundraising campaigns. I've been a member of their board of managers for almost 12 years now. Additionally, I serve on the board for the Torrance Salvation Army for the past almost 13 years, 8 of which I served as board chair. And most recently, I volunteer as an advisory board member for the Western Museum of Flight, a hidden jewel of our city located right here at Zamperini Field. My service doesn't just happen when I'm running for office. My dedication to the community is undeniable, and I have reliably served in all these different capacities without controversy. And I hope that I have proven that I am the trustworthy candidate and that you will support me to be Torrance's next city treasurer. And I look forward to your questions. Thank you.
Thank you. And finally, we will hear from Charles Deemer.
Members of the Torrance League of Women Voters and residents of Torrance, greetings and good evening. I'm a 6-year resident of Torrance and a Torrance Unified graduate. After that, I attended El Camino College as a business major, then I attended Long Beach State majoring in accounting and finance. Following that, 45 years ago, I was hired by a Gardena accounting firm where my duties included general accounting work, including payroll reports and preparing income tax returns for both individuals and corporations. Early in my work for the accountant, I acquired a securities broker's license, which I kept active for 29 years. During those years, I was with 2 Southern California firms where I provided conservative, unbiased advice for my clients, similar to what a Torrance City Treasurer does when evaluating purchases for the city's reserves and other plans that the Treasurer monitors and prepares reports for the public and various government agencies. After working there for 13 and a half years, I started my own business doing similar work as I had previously done. My office is in Gardena, and I've been doing this for over 30 years. Since 2000, I served 8 years on Torrance's Environmental Quality and Energy Conservation Commission, and I'm now finishing my 13th year on the Torrance Water Commission. Additionally, I've also served 9 years on Metro's South Bay Service Council. So with the many years of practical experience that I already have doing much of what the city treasurer does, on June 2nd, I ask that you vote for Charles Deemer for Torrance City Treasurer.
Thank you. Next, we will have the first question directed to mayoral candidates. And for this question, we will begin with Mr. Chen, followed by Ms. Kalani. How will Torrance have changed 4 years from now under your leadership?
question is how Torrance will change 4 years from now. The Torrance will continue to change that we started 4 years ago, like continue to bring in high-paying jobs. And let me try to unpack that a little bit. Bring in high-paying jobs, making the city of Torrance a destination worldwide brings in revenue to the city of Torrance. Bringing in revenue to the city of Torrance allows us to fund all the quality of life desires that we want, such as funding our police, our fire, infrastructure. As we keep our city more safe, the more businesses will come into a city of Torrance. And we will probably, by that time, 4 years by now, that we will have something going on at the old Sears area. We'll be safer, cleaner, more business vibrant, and we will be ready for LA 28.
Thank you. Now, Ms. Kalani.
Thank you. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to restore public safety. After the last 4 years, we still have 36 officers short in our police department. We need to fill those positions. We need to make sure that our Class 1 fire department stays that way. We need to upgrade our fire stations. We need to put our finances back on track, moving hundreds of thousands of dollars from sister city programs that have provided zero measurable results to us. We need to put that into bringing businesses that are comfortable working in California and can benefit from coming to Torrance by us telling the why Torrance story and showing them that, for example, we do not have gross receipt tax. There are reasons for businesses to do business here. They're not coming for reasons of being necessarily a destination. We need to be using our staff to go out and bring those businesses here. And finally, we need to be focusing on all of you, not just some.
Thank you. Now we'll move to a treasurer question. And we'll begin with Mr. Griffiths. If elected, what would make your term successful? What are your goals as treasurer?
Yeah, thank you for that. First thing I would do upon taking office is I would make sure that all of our investment reports are publicly available on our Torrance website. Currently, those reports, the most recent ones that are available are from 2023. That's unacceptable. We need to be fully transparent about what the Treasurer's Office is doing, and those reports need to be available to the public, not requiring you to go to the city clerk's office and pick them up manually. The other thing is I obviously would like to generate revenue with the investments of our city, and that's certainly a big goal. But the other important part of that is that we have to make sure that that money is safe. And I believe that I'm the trustworthy candidate who will be able to ensure that that money is protected and overseen at all times, and that's what I will do.
Thank you. Next, Mr. Deemer.
One thing with the investing of the city's funds is we have both short-term and long-term. The long-term will be more like our capital projects, replacing of the equipment from the vehicles from the various departments, police, fire, transit. So those are the things you have to do is make sure that your investments are balanced so that when you have then a plan for so many years out that the funding will be there. Now, we are limited to only being invested for 5 years under state law under most circumstances. The other part is making sure that our city's defined plan for the employees that we do have that aren't covered by PERS, that is well run and that is very safely there. So it's a matter of safe, conservative investments that still provide the best yield within the risk that the city can tolerate under its investment plan.
Thank you. Mr. Matucci.
Thank you. I think one of the biggest improvements that needs to come to the department is incorporating AI into our redundancies as far as being able to catch errors that in some cases have cost us hundreds of thousands of dollars in the past. We need to try to avoid those. There's other things that we need to take into consideration that the department has actually been diluted over the last decade into pretty much a oversight position. Don't take my word for it. Ask the current city treasurer, Tim Goodrich. Ask him, call him, pick him up, call him and ask him if this is just plainly put an oversight position. He will tell you yes, because those were his words. The deputy city treasurer is the one that does pretty much 100% of the work. I'd like to try to restore some of those functions. A lot of it has been stripped since that position was abandoned. I don't know if you guys remember a few years ago. So, yeah, those are some improvements, but we are on the right track as it is. Thank you.
Thank you. Now for our mayors. We will begin with Ms. Kalani. Do you see an opportunity to expand the role of the Traffic Commission and consider other public mobility options, such as biking and public transit?
Thank you. I think it's important that we realize that our streets cannot get any wider. I was speaking with a council member from 20 years ago, and guess what the number one issue was 20 years ago? Traffic. So it's something that hasn't gone away. I believe we need a more dependable transit system with our buses. We have a beautiful transit center. We have a beautiful multi-story parking structure coming to our transit center. So it's important that we have dependable transit. So if you want to be somewhere at a certain time, you can make it there on time. We do have our Senior Connect. So those that, or our Torrance Connect, those people that would like to use that as an option can as well. And we do need, as we heard earlier, to revitalize our bike study to see where we can allow safe biking paths in our city and along with safe pedestrian paths as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Chen?
Same question.
Yes.
I just want to do a little clarification about Friendship City and economic value. I think last week, my colleague here on the opponent here just wrote a two-page letter to a Spanish jewelry company and touting that the city of Torrance is in the process of looking into developing a friendship city with a city in Spain. So, which means that is not a zero. The fact that we got the largest mural in the city of Torrance at Doubletree is not a zero. The fact that the Taiwan National Olympic Committee is picking Torrance as their base camp of operation LA 28 is not a zero. What I would do is give the Traffic Commission a little bit more things to look at. Look at, is the ordinance of e-bike ordinance effective? Does it need to be tweaked? Do we need to look at better street sweeping opportunities so that we could give street sweeping violation electronically so that once the street sweepers go by, then the cars come back and park there? Those are some things that we should do looking at the Traffic Commission. So there are a lot of things we could do better, and let's take a look at the e-bike ordinance as one, for example.
Thank you. Now for treasurers. Based on the last 5 to 10 years, please tell us how you are qualified to handle Torrance's $500 million plus budget. And we'll begin with Mr. Deemer.
Thank you. Thank you for that one. I've been doing accounting work. I used to be a broker, so I do understand the investing of that, and so it's just a matter of continuing to do what I've done for my whole work career, as analyzing, studying, planning, preparing reports, advocating when you have to for certain things to be done that would go to in the budget for the city. That is all.
Thank you. Mr. Matucci.
Yes, for the last 8 years on the council, we'll call it on-the-job training when it comes to these reports. Every month that these reports come out, we analyze them, look at them, and vote on them. So the city deputy treasurer is the one that puts those reports together, and they're typically presented to us via agenda. So if you actually are looking for those reports, they are online. They're just not, unfortunately, not on the page that we were talking about earlier over here. But yeah, I mean, we'll say that on-the-job training is probably the best experience you can get, but there's other stuff that I've accomplished, that gives me quite a bit of experience as far as numbers. That includes putting together a manufacturing company in Italy and selling to over 600 stores nationwide, running a company with 185 agents of my own, not a family thing, those are on my own, and currently managing a $50 million portfolio on my own. Thank you.
Thank you. And Mr. Griffiths.
Yes, thank you. I also served on the city council for 10 years, also reviewing the investment reports of the city treasurer, and also dealt with the situation of our city treasurer who abandoned the position and helped lead our city into changes in that department to get us out of the city emergency that we were in because of that problem. I founded and grew and successfully sold my computer business, generating millions of dollars in annual revenue. Never had to borrow money for my business. I've expertly managed my cash flow for inventory management and expenses. My experience with the financial management of our city finances, reviewing our city budgets for 10 years, gave me the insight to realize that with our critical expenses growing faster than our revenue, that the need for additional revenue was required, which resulted in putting forth Measure SST, which I supported, and the voters approved, resurrecting the city's financial position from a dangerous place. I've served on the boards and continue to serve on the boards of some of the largest South Bay institutions, helping to guide their budgets and finances. Thank you.
Thank you. Now we will move to the mayoral race. And Mr. Chen, please discuss the goals and the work completed by the AI committee formed in Torrance, and whether young individuals are being included in the conversation.
I think the city of Torrance is still tiptoeing in the AI committee right now to see what kind of things we can do in a very risk averse manner, because we just don't want to go completely wild as we're going into AI. We're looking at, okay, AI help us create some more efficient reports. Can AI help us process information quicker in the CDD department? So I think, we're still working through that. There's a lot of AI working groups, whether it's from a League of California Cities, National League of Cities. But I think we're just, we're progressing it through, not in a light speed, but I think we're doing it in a logical fashion.
Thank you. Ms. Kalani.
Thank you. It's important that when we look at AI, that we look at, AI is only as good as information put in as well. So AI should not, especially in the beginning, ever be replacing people. So yes, it can be used as a support mechanism, but it shouldn't be used and trusted 100%. And now I'm going to yield some of my time to answer the statement that was earlier made by my opponent. The Friendship City going and saying hello overseas and them coming here and saying hello and having fancy events is not the same as my letter that was specifically addressed to a company. I heard individuals at our mall state that they were considering a high-end wing. I did a very specific letter to a very specific company after researching that they're looking for opportunities to expand. It was going to look for economic opportunities first.
Thank you. Now, we will move to the treasurers. What monetary benefits has Torrance realized from the Friendship Cities? And we will begin with Mr. Matucci.
Well, I don't know if you can put an actual dollar amount. I mean, we can ask that question about a lot of different things, but, we had no problem as a council to fly to South Korea altogether, including spouses, girlfriends at the time, even people that voted no on it, because I think even at the time, they understood that creating relationships with overseas countries is a key factor in our future. We are a world economy, guys. Torrance is not in a little bubble. Neither is LA County, and neither is California. We're competing against other states, not just other cities around us. So the best way to do this is to continue to develop the relationships around the world so that we can continue inviting the investment into our city. That's how we're going to survive, guys, because California is a shithole of a place to do business in. It's a shithole, guys.
That was unnecessary.
I'm just tired of the same question over and over.
Mr.
It's
Griffiths?
it's the same thing. You guys are pounding and pounding and pounding. It's just, it's ridiculous.
Your time is
It's
up.
just ridiculous. Yeah, that's absolutely. Go ahead.
Mr. Griffiths?
Thank you. This issue came up before me while I was on city council. I voted no for it vehemently. I've continued to vote no for it. I believe that it has been a misdirection of our city resources, not just money, but in staff. We have a very limited economic development department, and that economic development department now has been hijacked to take over and work on all this Friendship City nonsense, which from everything I've seen has generated next to nothing besides a mural on the side of a hotel building. And so that's the answer to that question.
Thank you. Mr. Deemer?
Well, Friendship Cities is something that's apparently much less intrusive into the budget than a sister city would be. Sister city have much more formalized operations because there's an organization that really has promoting sister cities between the United States for, I believe, about 70 years now. And so as part of the global community, Friendship Cities are just friends. And so it never really seemed really appropriate to me to have a Friendship City, because we've had one sister city for over 50 years now, Kashiwa, Japan, that we have had very beautiful things over the years between the two cities. But Friendship Cities are just spending money. And I mean, whatever level it is, it's something that will be far more difficult to show where the economic long-term benefit to the city is.
Okay, thank you very much. Now we will go to the mayor candidates, and we will begin with Ms. Kalani. How will you ensure that the rights of LGBTQ plus individuals are protected, such as at pride parades?
I want to be very clear about this issue. The city had a long tradition of recognizing June as Pride Month. As a person, I am committed to making sure that every single individual feels heard, feels welcomed, feels safe, and feels included in our city. This is not about parades. We have one sanctioned parade in our city. It's not about flags. We have a flag ordinance in our city. What it is about is caring for each and every one of you. And the other mayoral candidate took that away. It was a takeaway. And the minute that was taken away, people had incidences of not being safe, and that's unacceptable. It's one of the first things I'll do when I'm your mayor is make sure that everyone is included.
Thank you. Mr. Chen?
Just to clarify this thing that we cannot get out of, the whole Friendship City relationship was initiated as an economic development strategy. I think we had one woman came to my office to interview for a commission position. I explained it to her. It was always an economic development strategy. And getting the Taiwan National Olympic Committee to rent 50 rooms at the DoubleTree in July 2028 is not a zero. In terms of the rights of LGBTQ being protected, they are protected. The fact that the city does not need to issue a proclamation for a whole month of June does not mean you're taking away somebody's protected rights or status. It just means that everyone is protected. There's no special proclamation for any other folks, like you name whatever you choose. Everyone in the city is protected and accepted, and we love all of them.
Thank you. Now, for the treasurers, what are your top 3 to 5 priorities for Torrance, and why do you choose those? And we will begin with Mr. Griffiths.
Yeah, thank you. I think I already mentioned a couple of things that I would be doing when I'm your treasurer. First of all, the transparency of all the reporting needs to happen. It's not happening currently. That needs to happen. Ensuring that the safety of our investments and our money that is being held under the responsibility of the treasurer. Reviewing the whole role of the treasurer. That role has changed dramatically over the last 5 or 6 years. And obviously, I'm more than happy to investigate opportunities for changing the role of the treasurer's office if that is deemed appropriate. But I think it's just primarily ensuring the safety and revenue generation of our investment money and making sure that the public is aware of what's happening in the treasurer's office in a transparent and prompt manner. Thank you.
Thank you. And Mr. Deemer?
Managing the funds, making sure that they are invested safely with the best yield available at the risk tolerance at that time is the main issue left for the treasurer's office. All other functions, because of past issues, were transferred over to the finance department. So basically just an oversight and long-term planning. That's really all that the treasurer does. Yes, much of the day-to-day posting is done by the deputy city treasurer, but the treasurer is still responsible for presenting the reports to the city council and all the other financial reports that have to be filed with various state and government agencies through the year. And those are the two main things that the treasurer is to do, and that's what I would be doing.
Thank you. And Mr. Matucci?
Thank you. Yeah, I think keeping everybody accountable that's involved is an important factor. Of course, we talk a lot about transparency, and the way you're transparent is by making sure that the public has full access to everything at any time. And the only way you're going to get 24-hour access to anything is that we properly post. So my opponent's right. We are behind on posting online, but yet those reports are available. You just have to go looking for them. Just finding better ways and easier ways to access the information, I think it's important. And finally, restore some of the functions of the department, because over the last 10 years, it's just been kind of just a joke. It's been, the city treasurer's department has been just decimated. So we need to restore some of those functions and bring back a little bit of oversight on what those $380 million really mean. Thank you.
Thank you. Now we are approaching the time when we're going to get kicked out of this room. So okay. Then we have one more round of questions. What did I do with it? And for Mayor, how would you make this, well, this will go to everyone. How would you make the South Bay more affordable for residents? And we'll begin with Mr. Chen, go to Ms. Kalani, and then we'll move to the treasurers.
Well, affordability seems to be a buzzword people use, just like, the lack of transparency, which we've been the most transparent city council. These are economic development brochures that we never had until 4 years ago. And we're promoting our city, and that's why we are the economic powerhouse of the South Bay. And affordability is not increasing taxes. Affordability is, one way to look at it is, I'm focusing on the top line. That's why I keep talking about economic development strategy to generate revenue, bring in high-paying jobs, such as all the aerospace defense companies coming in, so you have a higher probability of living here, enjoying a quality of life. Other things to affordability is really at a very, very top level at the federal level. At the local level, the best thing we can do, keep our city safe, keep our city clean, have a good managed infrastructure, and bring as much revenue and higher paying jobs as possible. Then you can afford the things you want.
Thank you. And Ms. Kalani.
Thank you. I support development in designated corridors, keeping like uses in areas so that residents have a choice. Those that need to or want to be in a multi-family area can be. Those that prefer a single-family area have that choice as well. Let me talk to you about 50 rooms. That sounds like a lot, right? It's actually less than a zero, because we have one of the highest hotel occupancy rates in the county, so those rooms would have been filled. But not only are they going to be in those rooms, but we have to provide safety, extra police and fire, and that will actually, the bit we get on hotel occupancy tax, which we probably would have gotten anyway, and now we have to add all of that extra cost of public safety, it's actually a negative. And as far as other people being recognized, Asian American Pacific Islander Month, Hispanic Heritage Month, Black History Month. Thank you.
Thank you. Now we'll move to treasurers. And for this, we will begin with Mr. Griffiths, I think.
That's fine.
What prompted you to run for office? And what unique strengths will you bring to this office?
I saw an opportunity. Obviously, community service is really an important part of my whole life. I've served 10 years on your city council, longer than any council person since term limits were implemented almost 40 years ago. I care about our community. When I saw that the current treasurer wasn't running as the incumbent he was eligible to, I saw an opportunity to continue my service to our city, so I decided to take that on. I've already explained to you in my opening statement why I think I'm qualified, and I'll let you guys make the decision on who you think will serve you best in this position, and I think I'm the one.
Thank you. Mr. Deemer.
Well, saying that our current city treasurer, Mr. Goodrich, decided not to run for re-election, that is why I chose to run. I felt with my career experience, that would be just as well a treasurer that he has been doing for the last 4 years. I could do the next 4 years or maybe beyond that. So that is my answer.
Thank you. And Mr. Matucci.
Yeah, I'm going to have to echo that as well. I think Tim Goodrich is doing actually a pretty darn good job. The deputy's doing a good job, and when he said that he wasn't running, I think it was a good opportunity to explore serving the city in a different capacity. I am a numbers guy. I do numbers for a living. I actually teach classes at Keller Williams University. That's just, by the way, just a real estate office. Okay, it's not a university. They call it KW University. But I've taught many classes on doing the numbers. So I think I do have a passion for it, and I really do feel that I'd be a good match. So, but we'll let you decide who's a good match or not. Thank you.
Thank you. And now we will move to our closing statements. And we had introduced the idea that we would do them in reverse order of the opening statements. So we will be starting with treasurers and working our way back to the mayoral candidates. Each member has a minute and a half to make a closing statement, and we will hold our comments and applause until they are all finished, and then we'll give them all the benefit of our appreciation. So, Mr. Deemer, you have the opportunity to give your final statement.
My fellow Torrance residents, thank you for your time this evening. As a 60-year resident of Torrance and a West High graduate, I've been involved in the city for many years. A business major at El Camino College, I also attended Long Beach State, majoring in accounting and finance. For the past 45 years, I've put those studies to good use working in the accounting and investment fields, over 30 of which have been owning a practice in Gardena. So like my fellow candidates, I've spent many years as a business owner, just operating in different fields than they have. While I've spent 45 years in accounting, For 29 years, I was also a stockbroker for 2 separate Southern California firms where I provided superior, unbiased, conservative investment advice to my clients. This provided me with much practical experience analyzing investments along with the preparation of financial reports and presentations that's similar to a city treasurer's duties. As far as my local involvement here in Torrance, I'm a 21-year commissioner, having served on both the Environmental Quality and Energy Conservation and the Water Commission here in Torrance, along with 9 years of service on Metro's South Bay Service Council. So when you go to cast your ballot for this June 2nd election, ask yourself this: is it preferable to vote for a Torrance Unified graduate who spent their entire career doing work that is similar to what a city treasurer does? Or would it be much better to vote for a termed-out city councilman? Thank you.
Thank you. Now we will hear from Mike Griffiths.
All right, thank you to the League of Women Voters of Torrance for conducting this forum, and for everyone here who cares enough to show up and learn about your candidates. After serving 10 years on City Council and decades of continuing community service, as well as significant past and current business experience, I think most people know me by now as someone that is reliable, dedicated, and most importantly, that they can trust. This is a common theme among many who have publicly endorsed me, most notably former Torrance City Treasurer Linda Barnett, who served our city well for 17 years. No one knows the job better than Linda, and her endorsement of my campaign to be your next city treasurer speaks volumes. I also have a huge list of other endorsers. I won't show the list like one of my other colleagues did up here, but it's on my website and you can check it all out there. As many of you know, I have been a fixture here in Torrance. You all knew me as someone who was sympathetic to the issues you face, such as protecting our trees, addressing the airport imbalance and associated noise, and fighting the state against destructive housing bills, and many, many, many other things. You knew that when you called on me, I would get back to you. I believe that I've earned your trust as your council member. So to wrap it up, you want the treasurer who is going to manage the millions of dollars of idle funds of our city to be someone you know, someone who is qualified, and someone who you can trust. I meet all of those requirements, and for that, I request your vote for Torrance City Treasurer. I want to be your treasurer. Thank you.
Thank you. And Mr. Aurelio Matucci.
I also want to be your treasurer. Look, I'm not a polished politician, never have been, hopefully never will. One thing I hate about politics is actually politicians. I mean, I've always detested the whole, tell me how great you are thing, and just sometimes it gets to you after a little bit. Look at our national scene, county scene, state scene, a lot of empty promises, yet we, the community, gets left to hold the bag, to have to deal with the daily struggle. So, yeah, you may not like what I say, how I say it, and I apologize for using foul language, especially when there's kids in the room, but I'll tell you, I got a passion for this. I won't get bullied around in this position. When I tell you I'm going to do something, I will do it. And that's what's important about when it's a leader you're looking for in a department. Look at the track record of pushing things through, pushing things forward. I think it's important. But I'll let you guys decide what's important to you. But I do want to be your treasurer, and I think I'd be a pretty darn good one. Thank you.
Thank you. And now we will hear from our mayoral candidates, and we'll begin with George Chin.
Thank you for the opportunity to share about our factual accomplishments during my first year as your mayor. Are you better now than 4 years ago? This forum has allowed you to understand my values and my priorities, accomplishments based on facts, where the city has been during my first term and where we will go during the next 4 years. Election has consequences, and this election is crucial to the future of our city. Do you want a mayor that claims to have many years of business experience but have not shown any significant accomplishments while serving the council for the last 6 years? Even saying that 50 additional rooms of the hotel is a minus? Tell that to our hoteliers. Do you want a mayor that talks about supporting public safety, or the mayor that brought the real-time response center to the police department? Do you want a mayor that falsely states that economic development strategy of Friendship City is a zero, but then writes a letter featuring establishing Friendship City with Spain as a opportunity? Do you want a mayor that claims to serve all the people of Torrance, or a mayor who looks after, even by data, that seniors need connect Torrance transportation and those with disability? A mayor that speaks the truth is crucial, and I've shared the factual, verifiable data with you. I ask for you to re-elect me as your mayor for 4 more years.
Thank you. And now we'll hear from Sharon Kalani.
Thank you. Over the last few years, our other mayoral candidate has said seniors contribute to traffic and accidents. People who work here should be able to afford a $5 cup of coffee, and that some of our community shouldn't be recognized because of his word, not mine, choices. As a senior, I'm independent, capable, just like all of you, and you deserve respect. Every member of our community should feel welcome, safe, and included, not just some. We must stay focused on what matters: safe streets, well-maintained parks, strong infrastructure, and fight for local control. It's time to restore your voice at City Hall, your full 3 minutes at the podium, and making meetings more welcoming. It's time to be responsible for your taxpayer dollars. Pet projects like Friendship Cities with no measurable results and El Camino annexing at a cost of over $100 million needs to stop. One of us joined council after retirement for something to do and enjoys photo opportunities. I've been quietly serving your city and all of you for over 4 decades. Fact, while others approved deficit budgets, I stood for fiscal responsibility. Fact, I am the only candidate who supported the decisions that stabilized our city, and the only one endorsed by Torrance Firefighters Association, Torrance Police Officers Association, and Torrance Commanders.
Thank you very much. Let's give our candidates a hand. And thank you to all of you for taking time out of your busy week to be here and to hear what your candidates have to say so that you can make a better decision when you vote on or before June the 2nd. And thank you to the League of Women Voters of both Beach Cities and Torrance for putting this on. And thank you to Marco. Oh. One thing we need to do is exit to the outside, outdoors, rather than hanging out in the lobby, so that we can relinquish the room as soon as possible. Thank you to everyone.